One common question I get asked is what can you do to keep your aluminum parts, specifically carburetors, looking good and protected from the elements that they get exposed to. So today we're going to take a look at a product that I found that works pretty well, but it might not provide the exact results you're looking for. We're going to test it out and find out. Let's see. One thing's for sure is anytime you clean something, whether it's an aluminum carburetor or paint or anything else, sometimes it tends to show a little bit of wear. Now, these aluminum bodies on these carburetors are very, very difficult to keep clean, and when you do, a lot of times we'll clean them in an ultrasonic cleaner or just use regular carburetor cleaner, some sort of solvent. But what that tends to do is it breaks down the finish on these carburetors, and one really common question I get asked is, okay, well, once I get it clean and ready to go back together, what can I do to restore the finish on it? And one product that I keep getting asked about or I've seen talked about anyway is a aerosol product called Sharkhide. Now this comes in aerosol or quart or gallon containers where you can actually spread it on. And actually that product came from the boating industry, I think, is where it really started. And it does a really good job of protecting and cleaning and polishing aluminum that's used on pontoon boats or all sorts of other products that are used really in the marine culture. So that Sharkhide metal protectant is designed to go over the finish of a carburetor to protect it from all those other caustic elements that come into play. And on the marine side of things, you got water and salt water, brackish water, whatever the case may be. And it does a really good job of kind of protecting the shine and the finish on them. But carburetor is obviously a little bit different because it's exposed to so much other stuff that's way more nastier, even though salt water is an awfully disgusting thing to be exposed to aluminum and metal. But carburetors are no different. They're exposed to all sorts of other garbage. So today I've used Sharkhide in the past. And this video is not sponsored by them at all. The results that we get are going to be the results they are. I purchased these. That product is about $30 a can in the aerosol, so it's not very cheap, that's for sure. And usually I can get several carburetors out of one can, so that's not the issue, but it is very, very costly. So we're going to take a look at it again. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. The results we get are what we're going to get. And yeah, so in this case, the aerosol spray is the only thing you can really use on these carburetors. They do, like I said, offer it in a quart and gallon containers for all three of those products, I believe: the cleaner, the polish, and the protectant. But today we're just going to concentrate on the protectant. So let's talk about all the little details of this right now. So like I said, the aerosol is really the only way to apply this product. Now, like I say, they've got it in other, the liquid forms, but the aerosol is really the only thing that's going to get down in all the little crevices that you have to apply the product to. The way you use the liquid material that comes in a quart and a gallon is it's a wipe-on type of deal, and you just can't get down in there. So the aerosol spray does a really good job of it, but it's a little particular in how you apply it. So we're going to show you how to do that in just a quick minute. But the carburetor must be really, really clean. So what I did is I did three different things here. This one is pretty clean. It's had the most attention to the detail, and the finish on the carburetor is not bad. This one is also pretty clean, but it's really, really, really been grayed out by the ultrasonic cleaner. So the finish on it is kind of dismal, and we're going to see if the Sharkhide brings it back at all. That one, the top of that air horn assembly is okay on its finish. You can tell it's been weathered for sure. The finish is starting to come off, but it's very dirty. So we're going to see how that applies to a dirty piece and part, and does the Sharkhide protectant adhere to it or not. One thing about this too is we're in a very cold environment here today, and if you can see, these are very, very cool. Looking at about 60 degrees on that one. 61. So we're in a fairly cool environment today here in the shop. Typically what I'll use this for is in the summertime, and these are typically around 70, 75 degrees. Anything more than that, that protectant doesn't really like to adhere to it very well. I guess it does, but it dries so quickly because that comes out very, very thin. So you have to be a little bit careful with it. So you always want to keep it a little cool. Anything over that 70, 75, I would be a little cautious with applying it. Now when it's in that temperature range, it does dry fairly quickly, but usually want to give it a couple hours just to make sure it's set really well. And the way this stuff applies, it's not like you apply it and then add another coat a couple hours later. Really, the coats you apply are immediate. We'll do one nice light pass and then do a heavier pass of it, but we'll show you that here in just a second when we apply it. But you'll want to try to apply as evenly a coat as possible. Try not to overlap it really heavily. Again, I'll show you that here in just a minute when we spray these down and let them dry. But the electric choke, the linkages, you can spray it on the linkages. It's okay. It's not like it it's going to have a negative effect on that, but really it's made for the aluminum. So what I'll try to do is cover that up a little bit. The electric choke I'm going to remove off this carburetor because it's really not something you want to apply to that. So that's really kind of all the details on it. Again, I'm going to show you some little things here in just a second, again, when we do it, but let me get this the choke off here. We'll get something set up to start spraying this because I don't want it to spray onto the bench. And then, we'll show you how it gets applied. Okay, this is typically how I prep these now. I think it's a little bit overkill, but I usually will cover up the linkage. It's not mandatory, I don't think. I just do it because I like to keep it a little bit separate. And then these other two we're just going to shoot as it is. I'm not going to do any prep work. Like I say, this one has been cleaned. That one has been cleaned fairly good. And that one I really haven't cleaned it at all, so it's got some ugliness in there. Now the badging on there, you can spray right over it. I've never had any real issue with that. Internally, you don't want to spray anything in here because, like I said, the fuel will dissolve that protectant fairly quickly. It doesn't stick around when it's comes in contact with fuel or solvents or anything else. Now we'll give this a good shake, get it all mixed up in here. Like I said, this comes out fairly thin, so like I say, we'll do a very light pass from 12 inches or so away, and then we'll do a heavier, slower pass, 6 to 8 inches away, because I want to lay it on pretty heavy. Now when this comes out of here, occasionally you may see some air bubbles that it will form on there. You don't need to worry about that. It will kind of spread itself out, so when it dries, all those will be gone. Don't need to worry about it. Let's also talk really quick about the prep in this. Now, you can use carburetor cleaner, whatever you want, but I will always do a brush down with lacquer thinner. It's what the manufacturer of this product recommends to do a final clean and prep on it, so that's what I will always do. Now the lacquer thinner is pretty easy to work with, a brush, and just make sure you get in all the crevices. It dries off fairly quickly. That's all the prep work that I do. Now this carburetor right here is an older Carter, and you can tell, like I said, the finish has completely been destroyed by the ultrasonic cleaner. It's a gray finish. It will show a lot of black that comes off there. It just happens to be the way that those go. Sometimes all the protective coating that was on this carburetor is long gone, and we're going to see if the Sharkhide brings any of that back, or how it looks when it's applied on here. I think you'll be a little surprised by that. I just want you to know going in that the results are going to tell us exactly what that product does and what it's designed to do, I guess. So let's go ahead and start spraying this stuff, and then we're going to give it a couple hours to get its stuff all sorted out. So let me get this all shaken up, and then we'll start on that carburetor, and we'll just move each to each. One last thing is make sure you apply this in a really ventilated area. It does tend to settle a little bit, and it is very flammable. So let's get started. And that's it. So we're going to let these settle for a while. Like I say, with the temperature in here, I'm going to crank up the heat, get this stuff to dry out. Like I say, you can kind of see a little bit of areas where it's got a little bit of bubbling in it. Don't worry, it's all going to come out. But yeah, we'll go ahead and let this stuff settle, and we'll come back here in a few hours, see how she looks.
3 hours later.
All right, let's see how these turned out. A couple of things here right off the beginning. If you start with something that's got a really good finish to it, like this one's not bad, it's just going to help make a look a little bit better. It does add a little bit more brightness to it, shininess to it. Not overly much, but like I said, it's not the protective coating that we're correcting. It's just a coating that goes on top of that to make it look good. So it's got some shiny spots on it. It doesn't look too bad. What the Sharkhide is really essentially doing is just giving some longer term protection to the metal and just make it look a little bit better. So that doesn't look too bad. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Looks like it all got down in there pretty good. It is invisible, so it's not like you can visibly see it. It's not a paint. It's not a coating that has any depth to it that you can see it. It's just literally an invisible coating, so you can't see the finish on it. However, if we remember back on this one that had been deteriorated so bad because it had been, all the coating is completely gone. If we do that same thing when we rub it, nothing comes off on it. So what it's done is it's sealed up that of the metal and the material, and it's just sealed it up a little bit. So it's always going to look that dull gray, kind of weird. I don't think it looks too bad, but it is kind of dingy looking, I guess. It's always going to cover that up, but what it is going to do is just keep it from continuing to be kind of messy to handle. Now, last one here is, this one was kind of dirty when we did it, so I've never done this quite before where we've kind of taken one that's been dirty like that, and it's, it's coming off there, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. There were some spots on here that were pretty bad, but not as awful as I thought it was going to be. So what that coating has done is it's kind of sealed all that in there, which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, so I don't think it'll last very long, but it's there anyway. Let's talk about some of the positives and negatives of this. So obviously what it's going to do is going to help seal that metal up, keep it from corroding or deteriorating anymore. In this case, where we've got a decent finish on here, it's going to protect that finish and keep it alive a little bit longer anyway. When you've got something that's as bad as that one, you're just going to keep it from being, I guess, so grungy or weird to handle, where it kind of leaves all that black residue on your or aluminum residue, I guess, on your hands. So that's a positive. Even if I guess they're dirty, they didn't turn out that bad. You see, that's that badging on there, that little bit of yellowing that's in there, that was already in there. You're not going to correct that. It's not a cleaner for that. And I don't believe that their cleaner that they have would get in there, because that's kind of a coated badge anyway. But the sticker looks good. It didn't affect that any, so that's kind of cool. Now, Sharkhide will tell you that product, if it sits in the sun, obviously carburetors are under hood generally most of the time, so it's not going to see a lot of sunlight, but it doesn't yellow or fade. The sun doesn't affect it too much, or at all, I guess they say. So that's a positive. What will affect this finish is fuel, brake cleaner, lacquer thinner, mineral spirits. Just about anything will start to remove that coating off there. It's not a permanent finish that's on there. It doesn't have a lot of staying power. So if you're going to do this, I would plan on probably redoing that carburetor finish at least once a year, maybe more than that, depending on how much you drive the thing. Like I say, any fuel leaks that gets on there, it's going to remove that finish off there pretty quickly. So it just really, I guess, depends on how diligent you want to be with the maintenance on there and redoing it. But as it sits right now, The carburetor doesn't look too bad, and I would be, be happy to rebuild this one if it didn't have other issues anyway, and put it back together and call it good. So, yeah, overall, it's like I said, it's got some positive and negatives to it. I don't use it very often, to be honest with you. The only time I will use it is on a carburetor like this one that has some protective material left on it. This one here that's too far gone, that carburetor's scrap anyway. I would never use it on that one. It's just, there's no reason to. I guess if you were desperately wanted to hang on to it and didn't want to do a full, refurbishment on that type of thing, then yeah, I guess it would be worth it to you. But that's a decision that you'll have to make on your own. But it does require some diligence, some maintenance. You have to make sure that that it doesn't get into those situations where you're getting fuel or anything else on it. And if you keep it pretty clean, you keep it protected and not spill a lot of stuff on it, then it's fine. It does last for a little while longer. But it's a nice deal. Like I said, I don't use it very often, again, because it's very expensive and just doesn't. It's not like you're correcting any problems or adding to or helping out the protective finish on there. You're just protecting that protective finish from deteriorating any further. So what do you guys think? Would you use that product, or do you have another brand of something that you prefer to use? If you do, leave it down in the comments below. I'd like to take a look at it. Like I say, I'm not, the Sharkhide stuff works for what it's supposed to do. If you don't have any big expectations of it, turning an ugly carburetor into something really beautiful and pretty and, looks like it came right out of the box, it's not going to happen. But for what it's designed to do, the Sharkhide stuff works really well. So anyway, if you have any questions on that one, don't hesitate to leave them down below. Certainly subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I guess we'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you.